Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Gemini, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Gemini, I hope that you're doing well. I'm expressing a lot of gratitude in this moment for a beautiful Gemini in my life who has gone through some harrowing things in the past 24 hours since I am doing this reading. So my heart is very, very full with love and gratitude. So I hope that you all are doing well. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today. The first is the Elemental Oracle for the overall energy. Your tarot reading will be with the Light Seers Tarot, and from the same author of the Light Seers, a card at the end from the Sacred Creators Oracle. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Gemini? Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. Number 30, which, well, Spirit said the number 30 might be very relevant for one of you out there, some of you out there, but reduces to a 3, which is the Empress card, my favorite card in the whole deck, corresponding to Taurus and Libra energy. The Empress is the ultimate divine feminine who carries the power of all 4 queens of the tarot. The card is Oceans and Bravery. Oceans and Bravery. I am being reminded, I have a very specific image in my mind of a friend, actually a Libra friend, who has a daughter who is autistic, and I have a very specific image in my mind of when she was real little. She's really, really little. She has an amazing physical prowess. Like, she was always like climbing things, even when she was really little. No fear of falling, and I don't think she ever fell. Hopping on chairs, yeah, as I almost like knock over my lamp, hopping on chairs, and we were outside and she was bouncing around with things, and I always found it so amazing that she had this uncanny physicality that she had mastered very young. And for some reason, I see her when I look at this figure. I don't know if you can identify with that, if you are yourself autistic, or you have someone in your family who is, but that's just coming through. And it really corresponds with that word bravery, because I remember thinking how brave I felt she was. I don't know what she was thinking in those moments. You know, she's nonverbal, especially at that time. But there was no fear. There was just no fear. I felt fear. Her parents felt fear, but there was none. She felt no fear. So, well, I don't want to necessarily say, oh, there's this sense of reckless abandon. That's not what I'm sensing. But I am sensing that there is something happening or coming into your world right now that is perhaps testing your bravery. The fact that the word oceans is here suggests to me that it may have to do with the water element, the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You may have one of those. You may be dealing with the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You may have it in prominent placements in your chart. That mainly talks to me, though, about the heart space, feelings, emotions, family, friendships, familiarity. This thing that goes beyond thought and comes right into the soul. And here you are trying to maintain your balance and traverse those kind of emotional, intuitive, perhaps even psychic depths. And that, for you, Gemini, might require a lot of bravery on your part, because maybe these are terrains that you have never traversed. Maybe these are areas of your life that are underutilized. But the suggestion of the Empress with this number 30 reducing to a 3 suggests to me that you come to this place now that you're willing to accept, attract all of these lush and sensual aspects of life, as opposed to the discerning, cerebral, perhaps sometimes cold aspects, right? So I'm going to pull 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and at the end, a card of advice from Spirit, as well as a card from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck. Okay. 7 cards on the table. The past energy, here we are again with the watery depths, only it's not the Empress, it's number 2, the High Priestess. Also an incredible card. And I want to point out, look at her eyes. You can see her eyes behind her closed lids. Sometimes it's a little disconcerting. It's like you don't know which to look at. Do you see the closed eyes or do you see the open ones? Suggesting that when we are in a state of deep prayer or meditation or trance or contemplation, that we can see even further, that we can understand even more. The High Priestess sits at the veil between worlds. 1 foot in this world, 1 foot in the spiritual. Constantly getting downloads from the universe. She's classically mute. She doesn't say much, but she sees everything. I always liken the High Priestess to someone who can enter a room and take the temperature of everybody in that room before anyone even says a word. Like, kind of with her intuition and her sense of energy, being able to discern who in that room is in a bad mood, who is not talking to who is talking to who, right? Like, what is going on here? What are the power dynamics? Where do I fit in, right? That's the High Priestess. I mean, just because I always like to bring it back to like the practical or the material world scenarios, because just because we might exhibit some kind of psychic ability, it doesn't mean we can't make it work for us, right? That's why you have these gifts. Make it work for you. Not to the detriment of anybody else, never that. But there are times when we need our intuition to guide us, protect us, inform us. Absolutely. Spirit is showing me instances, and there have been at least 3 or 4 instances where I found lottery tickets on the ground that were winners. 3 of them were scratch-off tickets. Scratch-off tickets. How do people lose scratch-off tickets? But they do. And I found 3 of them on the ground, unscratched, perfectly fine condition, legitimate lottery tickets or scratch-off cards that were winners. Now, one of them was like $2, but it's amazing, right? Because I could have just passed it on the street, like the first 100 people that passed it. But something told me, turn around, look on the ground. What is that? Pick it up. So I don't know why Spirit's showing me that. I don't know if you're not necessarily condoning gambling or anything, but I mean, sometimes you put $1. All it takes is $1 in a dream, although I feel like some of the jackpots now are like $5. But it's more about listening to the little nudges, the little like tap, tap, taps that Spirit kind of puts into your gut, into your heart, and says, hey, maybe we should listen to ourselves, listen to what is going on inside of us. This is the past energy, continued with the clarifier, 6 of Cups. So, right, to start your reading in the past energy, we have 2 water cards. 6 of Cups talks about nostalgia, looking back to the past with fondness, with love, with gratitude. There's a sense of fullness, these 6 full cups. Those were happy times. I want to look at them again. And my inner knowing, my intuition tells me I should, right? Sometimes when we look at the 6 of Cups especially, it's that saying that I first heard on another tarot channel, Higher Source Tarot, who's wonderful. I've been watching her for years. She's very no nonsense. Even her voice is no nonsense, but she was like, 6 of Cups, you know, that's Spirit saying to you, you can look back to the past, but you shouldn't stare. So it's the sense that we shouldn't necessarily get caught up or lost. We shouldn't get lost in those spaces. And yet, remembering those times that made us happy, we can bring that happiness into the here and now. Right? And Spirit is actually encouraging it with the High Priestess, encouraging you to look at it. Can I get a clarifier for the past energy? 8 of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, the material world, the 3D world. Where do we invest the majority of our time, effort, energy, and resources? That's what this card is all about. If you have any Libra placements, this card featured very heavily in the Libra reading that I just did. But oftentimes this can talk about a workplace scenario, because for many people, work is the place where they spend a lot of their time, effort, energy, and resources, right? It doesn't have to be. It just has to be a place of focus or concentration. You got this card in reverse to clarify these cards. So it's kind of like saying, where in the past did you lose your way, get distracted, not focused, not diligent? Right? And it's not coming out to chide you or, you know, tell you you're terrible. It's more just like, I'm learning from what happened back here. I'm learning about what made me happy and what didn't. Who made me happy and who didn't. In the present energy, Tower in reverse, number 16 of the major arcana. This is Scorpio, Aries energy. Okay, I hear the police siren kind of sounding. Very important message. The Tower card, I mean, it breaks my heart when I look at anything with animals like in distress. And you can see here, it's like this squirrel's, or I think it's a squirrel. This squirrel's natural habitat is kind of being threatened. It's this sense that the tower had to fall eventually, spirit coming in and striking the lightning against it, blowing the crown chakra off. It's in terms of human experience, it talks about those times when you just needed a swift kick in the butt. You were stalling, you were procrastinating, you were making excuses. I'm not saying you per se, but this is what the card is all about. And spirit just needed to just knock you back on your life path, on your destined path. We always have free will, but we are here on a mission. Our soul contract kind of dictates that we're here on a mission, and we can explore and have a worldly experience, but ultimately, what's our mission? What are we here to do? What are we here to learn? What are we here to experience? When you get the card in reverse, it's like averting a kind of disaster. Tower card in reverse talks about close calls and an understanding that we understood what was at stake, and we did our best to mitigate the blow, lessen the blow. It's clarified by the Eight of Cups. Excuse me, the Five of Cups. Why did I say the Eight of Cups? I don't know. Eight of Cups is like walking away from something that no longer serves you. You did not get that card, but I said it, so I was thinking it. So maybe it's you have walked away from something that just didn't make you happy. And ultimately, that was for your best and highest good. When we get to this point where we have to walk out of something, out of a scenario, a situation, it's because we need change. And some people love change. I am not one of those people. But you got the Five of Cups here, so excuse my mistake on that one. It's like I knew it was the Five of Cups, but Spirit said Eight of Cups, because I was thinking it. Five of Cups talks about a little bit of in-between energy, a little bit of depression, feeling a sense of being left out in the cold. 3 spilled cups on the ground, and we're barely holding on. We have to be careful when we're in Five of Cups energy, because that can feel, it can have this inkling of martyrdom or self-pity. And that's not a place you want to be. It's very low vibrational. You can, you can acknowledge your hardships, of course. You can acknowledge that maybe you need to take some time out. You need to recover and heal, of course. But getting into a pattern of repeat where we just lament things that we've lost, that's kind of dangerous territory, right? And it's clarifying the Tower card in reverse. So it's kind of like maybe something came in the nick of time that has allowed you to kind of snap out of it, right? Can I get a clarifier for the Tower in reverse and the Five of Cups? Another 5. 5 of Swords in reverse. 4 of Swords in reverse. 4 and the 5 of Swords. It's not, there's 78 cards in a deck. Lots of cards and lots of different ways for Spirit to communicate the messages. It's not a coincidence, and nothing ever is, that the 4 and the 5 would come out next to each other. It's like a progression. And now in the present energy, in the past energy, lots of feelings. Now in the present energy, lots of thoughts. Lots of thoughts of where our heart was broken and how we've had to take time to mend it. And now just this place of contemplation. Okay, what does it all mean? What do I need to do? What am I doing? What am I, how can I gain the upper hand in this scenario? Everything's giving me a headache. right? You got the cards in reverse. So instead of like just trying to gain the upper hand and take the advantage, it's kind of like, I'm not interested in fighting anymore. I don't want to overthink this. I want to get out of this energy where, you know, I'm tucked away and retreating unto myself, maybe oversleeping. I want to wake up. I want to experience the world. I want to come from a place of that's not cynical and that's not harsh and that's not judgmental. I want to get out of that energy now. So there's some challenges, Gemini, for you, I see in the present moment. There's some challenges here. Really try your best to express yourself, talk to friends and family that you trust. Allow yourself grief time, allow yourself a little bit of self-pity, but not a lot. Because that's a very dangerous cycle, right? And we started out the reading with bravery. Sometimes the bravest thing that we can do is get out of bed and get out of our head and experience life to its fullest. That can be the bravest thing a person can do, you know? In the future potential, Page of Pentacles, I see you are going to lift yourself out of something, explore a little bit, kind of traverse the rocky terrain, Spirit just said. Traverse the rocky terrain. Page of Pentacles, the pages often bring beginner's mind energy. Like we're just starting out. It's as we're adults, but it's as if we're channeling that childlike wonder within us. Pentacles, earth energy, it talks about, you know, accepting an invitation, walking through an open door to see what's on the other side. It doesn't mean we have to stay there. It doesn't mean we have to accept everything that's coming our way. But there is a little bit of curiosity happening. There is a little bit of bravery. And the Nine of Pentacles, to clarify that one, this is usually known as the single lady card, single, entrepreneurial, independent. You know, earned everything she has, proud of it. When the card is in reverse, it essentially, and that's not to say you can't be proud of yourself, but it's saying that you're going to be in less of a singular, independent energy. There's going to be people involved, people that you care about, people that care about you in this new kind of step in your life, this new exploration. I'm going to ask for a clarifier. Can I have a clarifier, please, for the Page of Pentacles? Thank you. Wow. Right back into the Gemini energy and the air signs, Ace of Swords. By you taking what you may perceive as a very small, minute step, what you're actually going to do is unlock a wealth of information. This is your wheelhouse, Gemini. This is where you thrive. Ace of Swords. Aces bring new from spirit. This is a card of clarity, illumination, epiphany, breakthrough energy, breakthrough. A real depth of understanding on a cognitive level. Not just the facts, the figures, the equations, but also something a little bit more cosmic. Perhaps astrological, perhaps spiritual, the tree of life, the tree of life. We end here with advice from Spirit, Three of Wands, card of waiting for the perfect moment when there may never be a perfect moment. Waiting for the perfect wave. It's just like get in the water, explore. I hear my cat Lucky at the door. It's kind of a confirmation for me. It's just like, yeah, you have what it takes. He's very loud. He's very loud. You have what it takes, right? Here we come full circle back to the overall energy. Get in the water. Be brave for yourself. I'm going to pull a card of advice from the Sacred Creators to close the reading. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So number 21, which is the World card. The World card in the Major Arcana. Chapters closing and new chapters opening. Up-leveling. Stepping into a new era of your life. Fill your cup with sacred giggles. And this might be so silly to you, Gemini, but it's exactly what you need. Laughter, joy, lightheartedness. Right now, in the present moment from when I'm reading this for you, there's a lot of heavy thoughts in your mind. Don't forget, laughter is the best medicine. That's your reading, Gemini. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Gem.